Uplift the lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Good evening, and welcome to Fablous and Faithfully Fit on Elation Radio. I'm Jacquelyn Anthony, along with Monica Ballard and Valerie Mentor. We invite you to join to tune in each Tuesday evening as we talk about, explore, and discuss topics and themes that will help you experience abundance in every area of your life. We will talk about being educationally equipped, emotionally healthy, physically healthy, professionally purposeful, relationally connected, being a sensible steward, and spiritually grounded. All these areas are important for an abundant life. We will be practical and honest and transparent, but not preachy. We will use the scripture as a point of departure, and we will leave you with some takeaways so you can use the information in your daily life. So we ask that you pour yourself a cup of tea, pull up a chair, and chat with us. And tonight we are going to be talking about mothers. We celebrated Mother's Day on Sunday, and we're going to be talking about mothers. So it's fitting that we have a conversation about mothers and motherhood, and we're going to talk about those shortly. So the Bible consistently asks followers to honor and love their mothers. And examples of this can be seen in Exodus 20:12, where it says, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. God expects that we esteem our parents. In fact, the fifth commandment is the only commandment with a promise attached to it. There are many mothers in the Bible we can reference. Sarah, Isaac's mother, she was in her 90s when she gave birth to Isaac. The child God promised to her and Abraham was indeed a miracle birth. And then there is Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, who would be king after his dad's David reign was over. And then we have Hannah, the mother of Samuel. Her narrative in 1 Samuel 1:1-28 states that she was her husband's favorite, even though she was barren. And Hannah was bitter in her soul because she could not have a child. But God answered her fervent prayer for a son, and her son Samuel was a prophet and a judge. And he chose David as king of Israel. And then we've got Elizabeth, who was also in her old age when she gave birth to John, who was John the Baptist. She was Mary's cousin. And then there is Mary, the mother of Jesus. And she needs no explanation or introduction. And so in their own flawed and imperfect way, each of these mothers can teach us about being a mother and motherhood. And so that's where we begin. We're going to be talking about mothers and motherhood. And I will let one of my girlfriends, Monica or Valerie, chime in on mothers and motherhood.
Well, good evening. Hello, everyone. This is Monica. Thank you, Jackie, for opening that up. Just amazing mothers of the Bible, just some awesome women who did great things. And as you mentioned, who, just as we all are, flawed, but still nevertheless, great women, great mothers. Oh, but we cannot leave out the mother of them all, the one who is often, and I've said this more than one time, that be it possible when we receive our wings and when we get there, she'll probably have the longest line, and that would be our dear, wonderful Mother Eve. And, yeah, so I have something to say. But mothers, and I say that jokingly, of course, but mothers are, just no words to describe, I'm sitting here looking now at some beautiful tributes that I, as a mother, received over the Mother's Day weekend, beautiful floral tributes. But for some reason, and I don't diminish or trivialize my role, but I guess I am so thankful for my earthly mother, and she is still with us. And we're all three of us are blessed, as a matter of fact, because all of our mothers are still here with us. So that's so awesome and such a blessing to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, ladies, I'll tell you, I spent the better part, in fact, I did, of the Mother's Day weekend catering to others. My mother, my own mother, of course, an aunt of mine who has always been like a mother to me. She and her husband were never blessed with children, but she's been my A1 since day one, and she's transferred and shared some of her great love and wisdom with my children. So I cannot say enough. And the older I get, the more I recognize and realize that saying, there is no love like a mother's love, it just resonates with my spirit. And we all owe our mothers, our grandmothers, all of those women, those aunts, those individuals who played strong roles as mother figures in our lives. We owe God, of course, just thanks beyond measure, and then tributes beyond measure to those amazing women. And I am, of course, again, so thankful that my mother gave birth to me and chose to allow me to come into this world, you know. So I am thankful for that. And let's get this party started. Val, what you got?
Yeah, I can say it too, Val. Yeah.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey,
y'all.
Tell them hey.
How y'all doing? And
Hey.
happy Mother's Day to you all. But yeah, like you said, Monica, we are blessed. I have some friends. I think we all know some girlfriends and friends, guy friends that we've known that have lost their moms. And so, like you said, to have your mom this Sunday with you, it was truly a blessing. And I always think about it always takes a village to raise a child. So I not only have my earthly mom, my aunts, but, you know, like even Jackie's mom, you know, I can say she's not laid hands on me, but she's spoken to me. So, you know, so that's a surrogate mother and my godmother. And then we had, you know, mothers in our in church, you know, who've spoken to us. So, like you said, though they may not have birthed you, they kind of guided you in some form or fashion. So you have to be thankful for those too. I guess I was laying heavy on some that we had lost, you know, over the years, Mrs. Durham, Davenport, you know, and so, you know, just to, you know, you think about them, Miss Lizzie, you know, so it's just, you know, it was kind of, it was bittersweet, you know, because my heart went out to their children because, you know, they were so, what would you say, profound figures in our church, and then, you know, they're gone. So now you kind of, you know, this time it just opens up a lot of wounds. Like you said, you're blessed to have known them, you know, and so I guess that's where you have to, like you said, Monica, I've noticed as I've gotten older is that reflection time. You can reflect over, you know, those good memories that you've had of them. And so, you know, and just like you said, be blessed that you have yours still here. Because recently my girlfriend had to, one of my best friends had to bury her mom. And so that's why I was telling her, I know this is going to be rough for you because, you know, to have, you know, your mom not here. And it's a different. It's very, very different. You know, so.
And, you know,
yeah,
you're right, it is different. But I must admit, I am very thankful and I'm grateful that I don't have to experience my mother not being here. She truly, and I have no perspective. She's the best mom on the face of the planet. Okay, so. And I'm sure, you know, everybody else feels the same way about their moms, too. But I also can be blessed that my grandmother is still here. My grandmother, my father's mother, is 96, 97, I believe, and still spry, still young at heart, no ailments, no mental problems. I mean, if you didn't know she was in her 90s, you wouldn't know. And she is one of those women that as I get older, I look to her, and also as I look to my mother, I look to both of them and say, this is the kind of life I want to have when I get to be older. I want to have a life that is still fruitful. I want to have a life where I am still in my right mind, where I have physical ailments, and so I look to them and say, that's the kind of life I want to have. And so many of us, as you said, don't have our mothers, and I am thankful that I don't know what that feels like today.
Right. Amen.
I am thankful because there are so many that don't. There's so many that don't have either parent or both parents are gone.
Right.
And I don't. And whereas I can sympathize and I can empathize. I pray for those who were crying yesterday because their mother was not here, and I can only imagine the pain and the hurt of not having your mother here to celebrate on Mother's Day. But I think we can rest assured and be blessed in that the people, the mothers that we have lost, that they were once a part of our lives, and that we can still hold on to the memories that they left us.
Absolutely. And I tell you, I cannot, as you were saying, we have our mothers. I don't even want to imagine what my life will be without my mother. And she's experienced some health challenges in the last 12 months or so. And it caused me to pause and to stop and think. And I thank God for her every day. But it also, sometimes when you look at the possibility, because we know the probability, according to the Word of God, unless we are here when He returns, the probability that we all have to go that way, the statistics are real. We don't know. But for now, we have them. I thank God for them. And I'm going to tell you, Jay, I am not one. I heard you say, I can only imagine. I cannot imagine. And how about this? I'm not trying to imagine because I was there. I was there with a very dear friend of mine. It's been, I think, 4 years, maybe almost 5, since her mother passed. And we didn't get a chance to actually talk on Mother's Day as we normally do, but I sent her a beautiful bouquet and a text message, telling her Happy Mother's Day and all of those pleasantries that we share via electronic devices. And she replied to me on Monday, which is fine because I know we're busy and she and her husband are proud grandparents now, so they're busy. But the one thing that she told me was, Monica, the last month has been so hard for me because and she didn't say other than the fact that I miss Mama so much. And she didn't say this, but I knew that her mother's birthday was in April. And so I had to just, sometimes some things that people say or even put in a text message, you just have to stop. You can't just shoot off a random response. You have to stop and think about it. And this was especially, this woman was especially close to me and played a major role in my life because, check this out, she and my mother, they were good friends, best friends in high school. They played high school basketball together in high school, juniors, seniors, what have you, over at Henry McNeil Turner High School, which is now KIPP. But they played on the basketball team, and they were good friends. And fast forward many years later, their daughters met and became fast friends. I mean, we just clicked. And just at a point, I don't even know how it came out. But when we found the connect, I can't even remember now. Wow. And so guess what we did? We hooked our moms back up. So it was hard many years later to see her mom go down. And I remember getting the phone call one Saturday morning, and it was made by her husband saying that, we're down here. We knew her mom was in the hospital. She had to, in and out of different things. And he said, it's not looking good. She's transitioning. When I tell you that my husband and I made it down to downtown Atlanta let me tell you something, to Piedmont, seemed like in a New York second. Mind you, we hadn't even gotten out of bed. But when I tell you that we showered, clothed, and did all we had to do, hit the road, and it's like we were there in 30 minutes. And, of course, there was nothing we could do. And when we walked in the room, it was just quiet. And she was sitting by her mother's bedside. And as long as I could ever remember, she and her mother were tight. They were thick as thieves. And there were no words. But that is one of those solemn moments when you recognize and realize there are no words to be said. Mm-hmm. And I just went over to her, and I hugged her. And I pulled up a chair beside her, and I went over to her mom, who was in the process of transitioning. They had done all they could do. And I just rubbed her forehead, and I stroked her hair. And I leaned over and I hugged her. And I've always been told that the last thing that people lose before their final transition is their hearing. Mm-hmm. And I whispered in her ear that I loved her and I thanked God for her, those things, and that I would miss her, And I was right there with her. My husband and I were there with she and her husband when her mother took her last breath. That was something I will never forget. And so 4 or 5 years later, for her to come and say, now this year, the 5th year, I didn't. It took me a minute to even. I said, God, you got to do this. So I can't even imagine. But thank God for them, because without these wonderful women, our own family members, the friends, like you said, Val, those wonderful women who you named, who when I think of now, sometimes I just get full, because I'm so thankful to have known each and every last one of them. And when I think about the impact that they had on my life, my husband's life, how they poured, and like you said, how they spoke over us, and they spoke words into our lives. They encouraged us, and to know that they're no longer here. It does brings pause. But thank God that they did come this way, and that they did touch and impact our lives.
It's interesting. We talk about spiritual mothers, the mothers who didn't give birth to us, but who have been a significant part of our lives for whatever reason. I know I've got quite a few spiritual mothers, but there are two that come to mind. One is a spiritual mother through my second grade girlfriend. She transitioned a few years ago, but Mrs. Reed was probably at every stage, every junction of my life. And then the other one is Mrs. Price. Do you remember Miss Price, Armady Price?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Oh, my God.
I do.
Yeah, Miss Price and my mother were really good friends. And they traveled together. I know one of the big trips they went on together was to Japan to see Gerald.
They did. They sure did.
Yeah, they did so many things together. But Mrs. Price was at everything, every rite of passage I ever had. Every rite of passage. My high school graduation, my college graduation, when I finished graduate school, when I got married, she was there. And then what was so interesting is when I had Joshua, she started doing the same thing with Joshua, being there just at every rite of passage that he had. And while, we talk about spiritual mothers because they are not biologically connected, but these are women who God has placed into our lives for a reason. And I'm not going to say for a season, because my spiritual mothers have been with me all of my life. So I'm not going to say for a season. but they have definitely been a part of my life for a reason. And those who are no longer with us, I definitely miss tremendously. I miss them tremendously because their guidance, their conversations, their love just knows no bounds, and their sincerity. You know,
right.
I can remember,
right.
and I'm pretty sure too, Valerie, you can too. So when we were growing up, you know, we had church when you mentioned Miss Lizzie. Miss Lizzie was, you know, part of our village. Okay, if we did something wrong, you know, she would chastise us.
Oh yes.
You know, and she would chastise us in love. And Lord, don't let her go tell Mama. Okay,
it's all over again.
It's all over again. You know. And so it's these women, these stalwarts, and I'm not going to say the stalwarts of the church. They're stalwarts of our lives who fed us, who were there when we fell down, who gave us strength, who even helped our mothers to raise us. You know, they're these women who are just tremendous in their strength, in their faith, and they showed unconditional love.
Right.
They showed us what that looked like. And for them, love was an action. It was a verb. It was not just a word. It wasn't just a word.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think about Miss Price, like you said, even though I did not know her long as you did, but she would, if she caught you doing something you weren't supposed to be doing, she would say, Valerie, and them two little fingers, come in. Come in. And like you said,
yes, ma'am.
I just remember that, you know. But it's just like you said, it's a blessing. Just to have known them, and I guess I was thinking, Monica, when you were talking, because that was what I was expressing to my girlfriend, because she lost her mom maybe about 3-4 weeks ago, and you know, Mother's Day came, and this week I believe her mom's birthday, so it's like one of those staggering things, and I told her now I can't speak on losing mom, but you know, losing your dad, I can talk. Losing a parent, I can understand that. But it's like one of those. I told her I equated it to like a sore. Like you fall down, you put on a Band-Aid, and that you look at it and you're like, okay, it's healing. And then as soon as you're like, okay, it's healed, you rip it off and it's all over again. You know, it's that grieving process all over again. So it doesn't matter if it's like 4 days, 4 years, you know, it doesn't matter. And I guess my heart, I was looking on Facebook, and Amber, you know, Mrs. Jones' daughter, that, you know, Amber and Ebony had just kind of, you know, lingered with me with that, and, you know, just, you know, so like you said, when you have your mom, and I think not only we're blessed that they're here, but we're blessed that we have the relationships, because some don't have that kind of relationships with their mothers. And
you're
that's
so right.
strange, but to be blessed to have a spiritual mom, someone who can stand in the gap for you, is also a blessing. So like you said, you can be doubly blessed in some instances where we, you know, like you said, Jack, we do have those spiritual moms. We have those that stood in the gap and guided us. But some of them don't. Some people don't have that, and so you have to, you know, just pray for it. We need to just really, you know, pray for each other and love on each other, because there's some hurt people out here. I was just sitting here looking at the news, and Lord knows, you know, you're like, did they not have, evidently, they didn't have a Mrs. Anthony in their life. Something ain't right, you know. or a guiding hand or something. So we that village, because I keep thinking about Mrs. White, who lives next door to me, and there was the grandmother of my childhood friend, and that woman would not phase anything to pull off a switch and get me and then tell my mom and daddy
right, they
what I had done. So not only did you get the whistles from Miss White, you got the whistles from your mama after Miss White done told you, and then you got a whistle from your father when he got home because your mama done told him what you had done. So you understand what I'm saying? You had that kind of, that love, that guidance, so we need to get back to that. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm going to just stop and sip some water.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what you're saying. It's so powerful.
What have your mother taught you? What have been some of the lessons that they have taught you as you grew up and even as an adult?
The most valuable lesson is loving unconditionally. And then the one that resonated, oh my gosh, I'm like, oh my, you get older when you're younger and your parents are saying stuff and you're like, okay, whatever. Okay. But it's stuck. And then you get married, you have children of your own, and then one day you're like, OMG, I sound just like my mother. So in addition to the unconditional love and hard work ethic, education was extremely important because she always expressed to us that it could take you anywhere in life you want to go. And then beyond that, be able to take care of yourself. Be able to take care of your own self.
That's right.
God bless the child.
That's right.
And I'm
You're
like,
so right. My mother taught me that too. But another thing that my mother taught me was that she said, you will never know how much I love you until you have your own. And that was so true. After Joshua was born, I felt this right as they laid him. The doctors laid him on my chest when I was still in the operating room. I felt this instant love for this little bundle of joy.
Person.
This person. That I had that came through me, God's child that came through me, and as I looked at him, my mother's voice rang in my ear. She said, "You will never know how much I love you until you have your own." And all of a sudden, I knew what she meant. I knew what she meant. We know. You just, out of all the things that I've done, the things that I didn't do, she still loved me. And I feel that same way about my son. There are things that I tell him, if he looks at me and is like, yeah, whatever, Mom. And he messes up. He does great things. I embrace his joys, his trials, his triumphs, all of that. And I tell him every day, I said, nothing you can do will ever take my love away from you. Nothing.
Ever. I tell mine every day. They will tell you.
Every day.
And when they know it, it's so important. You know what? One of the last sentences they hear from me every day, in addition to me telling them, be great because you are, I love you every day. And so I have an adjective that thrives every day. Mondays are marvelous Mondays. Tuesdays are terrific Tuesdays. Wednesdays, wonderful Wednesdays. So I tell them, I said, be great because you are. And I love you. And sometimes I might say, remember, I love you, or, but mostly it's just, I love you. And that is what they hear when we separate every single day. Every day. And I pray for them, and I send powerful what I call positive vibes through the atmosphere to them, because they are not babies anymore. And I cannot put my hand on them daily like I used to be able to. I don't see them every day, so the hugs are not there. But every single day, when they are home, when they are Winston's home from college now for the summer, so every single day, nothing changes. You come back and, we pick up right where we left off. You know,
right.
This morning,
so
yesterday
Valerie,
was,
what was something your mama taught you, Valerie?
I found years ago, this will sum it up, I found this magnet. And you're going to be like, a magnet? And it summed it up. And it said, God gave me my wings, but my mom taught me how to fly. That's it. She taught me how to fly. And it's just so funny because right before we came on, she checked me on stuff. You know how my mom is. Jackie and Mom, y'all know how mama is. And,
that's my girl.
She checked me on something because, and so even that's so funny because even at the age we are, that's still a blessing that you can still learn. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing I have to admit. She's, and I think one thing I really am grateful for our relationship, because sometimes I ask her, when you look at me, do you see a little girl or are you looking at the woman that I've become? And sometimes she says both. Some days you're the little girl, and sometimes you're the woman that you've grown into. And it's just, I just see my friend, a best friend who, remember we were talking last week about the ride or die, she's that chick, she is that one that would sit there and tell you that so don't look right. The other day I think I wore this dress and I thought I was looking so cute, had my little outfit on and I'm lost from the way, yada, yada, yada. And she said, that looked like a nurse's outfit. What? Like, are you kidding? And then she backpedaled, it's cute, but it just looked like let me first say I'm not anything with nurses. I have several in the family, but it was just a funny thing. And, it's just like, let me break you down because you're thinking you all, So, no, Shorty,
Woody,
right. So, it's just that sense of humor to not take yourself so seriously, to laugh. If anyone knows, even the two of you all know that about my grandmother. That was one thing I remember they said, somebody told me, oh, my God, Valerie, you have her laugh. And I thought that was the best thing she could have ever given me, with her laugh. Exactly.
Right. Hearty laugh.
Exactly.
I know something else that my mother, another thing that my mother taught me, and this was a really interesting lesson, and I'll give you some context, and I'll paint a picture for you. But she said that she taught me. She says, "You always have enough to share." Yeah. So she taught me how to share. You always have enough to share. And so now let me paint a picture for you. How she taught me this lesson. When Jane and I were growing up, Pizza Hut had this personal pan pizza, and they still do. Pizza Hut has personal pan pizza.
Love
and
it.
In the pizza, it has maybe 6 slices. I think it has 4 or 6 slices. 4. Like
it's that. 4.
4. Okay.
You've been real generous, Jack. It's 4.
Okay, so 4 slices. All right. Now we had one of these pizzas left, and we had one piece, had one slice left. Okay. And I want you to know what my mother did. She took that one slice and she cut it into 3 pieces. And she said, you always have enough to share. Now, can you imagine one slice of the personal pan pizza and you have enough to share?
Yeah.
Always have enough to share. And so
I think that's why our moms are friends, because that's what my mother does, exactly the same thing. I always tell people that my mother is the perfect person to be stranded on the island with, because you're going to eat. And she's going to make sure everyone has equal amount. You know, and especially with me as being an only, you know, people even say, sometimes I can't believe you are an only child. And I'm like, have you met my mama? I mean, you know, because she was not going to have me be that selfish. I'm not going to, it was none of that. None of that was she had. And so we always had to share. I mean, we just sat here a few minutes ago and shared a little, what are those little mini bag of popcorn? I mean, really.
Right.
Yeah. Who does that? I mean, you know.
The mini bag. I love it.
Exactly. So, like you said, I've always been taught the art of sharing. So, you know, and you know, even when sometimes I get in my mood, I'm in my only child mode, I don't feel like sharing with you today. Well, no, I'm not going to do that, you know. And so I still go back to the lessons that she said. Like you said, always have enough to share.
Always. That's a very,
yeah.
that is very valuable.
And there's enough love to go around.
Yeah.
That, too,
in
and of itself is sharing. And as a mom, and when you have more than one, sometimes you have to do it anyway. But sometimes explaining that to children, hey, I love all of you equally. And check it out. There's more than enough of me to go around.
Right.
You know, and everybody's standing towering over me, because, you know, it don't take much to be taller than I am. But, you know, like, yeah, Mom. But there's enough of me. And my heart, even though we've seen the size of a human heart, but trust me when I tell you, there is more than enough within me that goes around, and I love all of you equally. You all may have heard that old saying that children, and this is so true, and I've lived and experienced it with all of mine, they go from our womb to our laps to our back to our heart. That is so true. That is so true. And if I could say anything to anyone, and even speak to you guys, I can truly say that saying is true, and the thing, you know, because we can learn from a baby, and having children, being a mom, I will say that you do grow and you learn from them, because as Jackie was saying earlier, the moment she laid eyes on Joshua, the moment, and he was laid on her chest, you know that there's that instant bond. But you know this other thing? Let me tell you this, and it may sound strange, but it's the truth. You also realize that you would lay down your life and do whatever it takes to preserve the life of that one at that moment.
Right. That's right.
And that's when you realize that you have that proclivity to do the two brothers, that one killed the other. You're like, why do you? Yeah. Becoming a parent, you quickly learn as a mother that come hell or high water, you would move heaven and earth, and if it came down to it,
that's right.
You know, I've told people over the years, we all have the killer instinct, and some people have taken me to task, but when I break it down from that mother standpoint, it's an epiphany often. I see what you, exactly. Trust me on that. You absolutely know.
one thing that just, the Lord just spoke to me, and he said I needed to say this. We need to pray for women who have children and they don't love them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
There are many women
Say it again.
who have children and don't love them for whatever reason. For whatever reason. They're misused, they're abused, they're mistreated. I can think of, in the media where you hear of mothers killing their children. I'm thinking to myself, how can you do that to your flesh and blood?
How do you use them as though they were pawns in a game of chess when you and the baby daddy don't make it, whether he was your husband or just that sperm donor? But then you use them as though they were pawns in a game of chess.
That is correct. We have to pray for those women because there are a lot of children, and I'm talking about babies up to adults who don't feel loved by their mothers. And if you didn't feel loved by your mother as a baby, as a child growing up, you carry that with you as an adult. And that becomes what we call baggage. It becomes baggage. And we have to help people to unpack that baggage. But sometimes people who come from mothers who don't love them don't really know what it is until there's a trigger. Until there's a trigger. So they don't know they're carrying these bags. And they get into relationships with other women and with men, and they don't know how to react or to respond because they've got this hurt and this pain associated with their mother. And so I think we just have to give a prayer and ask the Lord to help those women who don't love their children for whatever reason, and to doubly help the children who feel hurt and abandoned by their mothers who don't love them. That's hard. I don't know what that feels like. I don't think Joshua doesn't know what that feels like. And I wouldn't want that for anybody, to not feel the love of a mother. Not at all. And I know that I am grateful to my mom for her wisdom, her kindness, her constant support. She makes my life easier because she picks up Joshua from school every day. She feeds him. We go on these great trips that she plans for us. She just does so many things. So many things. She's encouraging. She allows Joshua to be a part of her life. Can you imagine that some grandmothers don't want to be grandmothers? They don't want.
Imagine.
How does that work? I don't know how that works, okay?
I don't either. I don't have a frame of reference.
I just don't. I don't have a frame of reference for that. And I don't, she was the first place that my heart could call home. Her love is just so unconditional. She is faithful to me when I'm not faithful to her.
Right.
Okay? She sees beyond my flaws. She sees beyond my flaws and my imperfections, and I'm still okay. Okay?
Yeah.
And there are
they
times
still have to
when,
check us now and again.
Right. She does. And there are times when I don't say thank you, and I should, and she forgives me for that. And there's so many things that she does that she doesn't have to do. She showed me how to share. She's modeled how to be a great mother. I mean, I can just, and y'all can too, go on and on about your mom.
Go on and on.
Yeah. And so I sing mothers' praises who are good to their children, and I pray for those who need help and guidance to be good to their children.
Yeah, to be good. And, when my mom got me, woo, y'all, I'm going to tell you, I said, okay, all right, ma'am. She said, one day she told me, she said, Lord, had I known that my grandchildren were going to be this much fun, I would have had them first.
Right,
ma'am. Excuse me? Excuse me? And she looked at me as if, when they chastise you when you're growing up, they put the hands on the hips and they look at you and they say, you heard me. She did one of those, but of course she was kidding. At least I think she was. Yeah. Right. She told me that. I said, all right, ma'am. But, yeah, you're right. And, Jackie, thank you for mentioning that, because there are a lot of children who are not loved. And I think sometimes I'm not licensed or trained as a counselor, but it's just been my experience in observing and dealing with people and offering free advice that is solicited, of course. I don't offer unsolicited. Many of them don't know how to love. They don't love themselves.
Right. That's true.
So it is difficult, and you may as well say what it is. It's impossible for them to pass that love on when they don't know how to love themselves. That's true. And it's not offering an excuse for them, but it just is what it is. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. Right.
It's just like that. It's like that saying that hurt people.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I was, watching the news, really, like you said, Jack. I was thinking about the couple that killed their, 2-week-year-old baby. And so was watching the judge sentence her, and she was crying and basically saying that, she was a good mom. And the judge was like, but how? And so he kind of broke it down like, if you were, then why did this occur? Such and such. And then those kids, those two teenagers who tried to, not do a Columbine, but shoot up, they had plotted to do something to their high school or something or another. And so they sentenced them to, I think, 20 years apiece. And it was attributed to their lack of home. The home situation wasn't a good one. And so I say that goes to your point that, when you, like you said, with hurt people, and you end up, what would you say, birthing more hurt individuals.
Right.
And it's a generation of it.
Exactly.
Because it perpetuates.
Exactly.
You're right. Right. Well, ladies, it's almost time for us to close out. So I'm going to end by saying that we can learn. What is it that we can learn from the mothers of the Bible? And that's how I started out, talking about the scriptures and talking about those women of the Bible that we read about or that we know about. And so what is it that we can learn from them? So from Eve, the first mother, we learn to make mistakes and suffer hardship, but we continue to move forward and take responsibility for our actions. From Elizabeth, we don't stop believing in ourselves or God. And from Sarah, we learn patience because she was a mother in her 90s. From Hannah, we learn bravery and selflessness due to her self-sacrifices. From Bathsheba, we learn to triumph over our circumstances beyond our control. And from Mary, the mother of Jesus, we learn endurance, strength, and faith. And so with that, ladies, I think we can close out tonight and thank our guests for being with us. And we'll meet around the table again next week.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So peace and blessings to everybody, and y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Absolutely. Take care. Love you all. All right. Well, be blessed.
Bye.
Peace and blessings.
Be blessed.
Ciao. Next time.
Hey, I'm Dr. Scott, and I'm here with my good friend Shirley Murdoch.